Hey, everybody, welcome to a Thursday morning. Love doing these Home of Economy podcasts. Joining us in the studio today, Lyola, Wade Pearson from Home of Economy. They are both here. This is going to be fun. Man, this is one of my favorite podcasts that we do every couple of weeks here. And first off, we're going to say hi to Lyola. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. How was Christmas for you?
It went by fast.
It went by fast. Did you have fun? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about New Year's? Did you go out and get crazy?
No.
No, me neither. My wife woke me up at midnight to tell me Happy New Year. I fell asleep on the floor watching a movie. Wade, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
So you did better than me because I went to bed long before the...
Yeah, it was funny because she woke me up at midnight to say Happy New Year. And so then I was awake. So then I cracked a beer and started watching TV. I didn't celebrate going into New Year's. I just celebrated after New Year. But your Christmas went well, too?
Yeah, it was good. So
Always fun to get together with family, isn't it?
yeah, it was great.
Was it a fairly normal Christmas?
Pretty normal. We ran up to the in-laws up in Walhalla and visited with them and on Christmas Eve, and then we were at my mom's on Christmas Day, which was pretty quiet there. It was just our family and my mom. So
Okay. Well, speaking of Christmas, Home of Economy, how was the Christmas season at your stores?
I'll tell you, it was really crazy. With the winter weather, especially compared with last year, it definitely a big change. So we had a really good December.
I did a lot of my Christmas shopping actually at Home of Economy this year because I have relatives and people that are now getting into grilling, cooking, making jerky, doing things like that. And I told my wife, I said, well, this is awesome because all we have to do is go to Home of Economy.
Yeah.
And it was all there.
Yeah.
Now, this winter weather has finally hit us. I was
big time.
I was looking at some pictures from a year ago, this coming weekend, where we were at a vintage snowmobile run. There was no snow. Mm-hmm. And now when I look at it, this same run is coming up this Saturday. We've got snow, which is going to be nice. But now all these people that tend to think, winter's going to be like last year. We don't need to worry about the snow blowers, the shovels, any of that stuff, the winter boots. But that's changed now in the last couple of weeks. And I know a lot of stores are having problems getting product. Home of Economy, are you having the same issues? You facing things like that too?
We're definitely having it. We're scrambling as much as we can and making new arrangements with different suppliers that might have be shorter for stuff getting shipped in. So, but we're out of snow shovels and we got 4 dozen in yesterday.
Because you
So that
guys
was a
always
big-
have a huge selection of snow shovels.
we don't run out of snow shovels. I mean, we try to run out of snow blowers, which we still have 2 of the high-end, bigger ones. But snow shovels, we carry those, all year and just put them in back. I mean, but you can buy them all year. And we were down to a couple plastic ones and grain shovels, which really are the best snow shovels.
Yeah. I made the fatal mistake of grabbing my grain shovel yesterday to try to get up my walkway. I'm not kidding you. That was probably some of the heaviest, most packed snow in the 17 years I've lived out there. And it was yesterday. It was crazy. It was like you could walk on top of it after a couple of hours.
Yeah, it was. Well, that wind just packs it down tight, like magic.
I finally did it and bought myself a pair of muck boots.
Yeah.
I actually bought them for deer hunting because occasionally it's wet and you have to cross ditches and things like that. And I'm sick and tired of wet boots and wet socks. But I have found that these muck winter boots, they're not heavy. They're lightweight. They're way more comfortable than they look. But they're kind of taking over the boot world now, aren't they?
Yeah, they definitely have a thing. Years ago now, when we were starting to get in there, I remember a guy out west in Williston was telling me, boy, it's like wearing your tennis shoes all day.
It really is. They're really comfortable. I had a pair of the old rubber boots that you pull on, for working out in the fields or out in the ditches in the spring. And those things are like walking on bricks. I mean, they're no fun to wear, but these muck boots are nice. And you guys have got a pretty good selection over there.
Yeah, well, that was another thing that we were down, but just this week we got another, many cases of them. And the Arctic Sport, they're not, with regular soft toes. We sell a lot of the steel toes to the industrial guys, especially out west in oil fields. But
we talk so much, Wade, about boots and for adults and adult clothing and winter wear and things like that. But how about kids? If somebody is, let's face it, if the kids want to go outside right now, it's not like when we were kids. You find your best old pair of Sorels and you put some bread bags in them. You don't need to do that anymore.
Yep.
But what if you're trying to outfit the kids for these cold days?
That's another one that's been tough, but we do still have a few of the Columbia brand winter boots, so they're real, good brands. So, and in the kid sizes, so more of the traditional pack boots, but then they've got some of the bright colors that the kids will be happy to wear. So
Nice.
I guess we've had them, but they just got moved, and I finally noticed them. So
I was talking with my wife yesterday about Carhartts, the brand itself. I've had the same pair of Carhartt bibs now for probably close to 30 years. I still wear them
do they
all the
still
time.
fit?
It's funny because for the first time in many years, I was able to button up both buttons on the side. So I've lost a little bit.
Oh, they're known to shrink over that 20 years.
Well,
Mine certainly did.
If I washed them, maybe they would. I don't think I've ever washed them. But, now you see Carhartts are kind of a fashion statement now. You'll see a lot of women wearing Carhartt hats with the little ball on the top and things. But it's just no longer for working and for being outside, keeping you warm while you're working. Carhartt is, that's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be a lifestyle brand, and that's been a real tough one. But I did hear that our category manager was going to rebalance the inventory, shuffle it around. They're having problems on their global supply. They make stuff all over.
Yeah.
And they've always seemed to get overwhelmed, and they get it's like plugging up the
it's all you need is 10 days of weather like we're having, experiencing, and you could corner the Carhartt market.
Yeah, and this is actually because we're getting it all over into the east coast. So, that just really locks them up.
Right. You mentioned you still have a few snowblowers left, some of the high-end snowblowers, and that's another one of those things people wait. They wait until all of a sudden you get a foot of snow on the ground, and they think, oh, boy, I better go get a snowblower. But here's another thing, and it's not on your list, so forgive me here, but a lot of people, they think their snowblower is shot because of the fuel and all that crap. You don't take care of them. A lot of times, all you need to do is bring it into a good shop, a good mechanic, and most of the time it's just a carburetor issue or something like that. But all these people now looking for snowblowers that they can't find, why not take your old snowblower over to Scotty and you guys?
Yeah, no, he's pretty busy. I don't, I guess I should have asked him what his lead time is after Christmas. I know earlier in the month after the first snow, of course, people are pulling it out of the garage, behind a bunch of stuff. They probably didn't run it last year. I just I ran them, started them once to make sure they started.
Yep.
And didn't use it again, so the fuel problems are probably worse than ever. And he can fix that, and that's.
And he's very fast. And what I like about Home of Economy too is quick.
Yeah.
You ask him, when am I going to get it back? And he's going to tell you, and you're going to get it.
Yeah. But, but even after the first snowfall, his lead times were, I think they were a couple weeks or whatever, which I still thought was real good.
Sure.
But, so I'd hope that first batch people used it, and we're just kind of fixing the, kind of the more of the problems that show up because, what do? You got the snow. You don't want to be shoveling.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah, especially at our age. I saw an article on the Facebook and a link to it. A friend added on there, and it's like, doctors recommend if you're over 55 not to shovel. And I'm like, well, guess the daughters are going to start running it.
Call my neighbor. I was watching WDAY News at 6 o'clock yesterday morning, and they were saying how shoveling is such a good physical thing to do. It's good cardio. It's a good workout. It's like they say shoveling for 15 minutes is like walking 5 miles or something like that. And I'm like, all right, dude, you want to make a trip to Grand Forks? You can shovel mine for me if you think it's that fun.
I don't mind it. It's like, but when it's wind's blowing like yesterday, that wasn't
and that
fun.
snow was so heavy, heavy and compact. Now, Wade, you've mentioned, and this is going on all over the place. Hard to get product, hard to get stuff to put on your shelves. What about carryovers? I know one thing you've got listed here is space heaters, and I was just telling you about this before we went on the air that I need to put a heater in my garage. But is that something I could find at Home of Economy?
Some of those, depending exactly what you want. The heaters was one thing that didn't really get shipped very well at all. But after how mild it was last year, so we did have some carryovers. So we still have some, space heaters for inside your home. We had a couple of those propane garage heaters. I don't know if, but you're probably looking for electric that you hang up on the ceiling or something. And I don't know if we have those or not.
I'm to the point right now, a NIPCO space type heater, fuel,
we have
whatever.
those, the kerosene heaters. So.
Okay. I might be making another trip to Home of Economy. Now, always something fun going on at Home of Economy. That's kind of your motto. You got any fun events coming up?
Yeah, well, we're trying to figure out what we can do, and with a help situation, which is also real tight, but we're trying to do some stuff to keep fun or whatever. So we have an event coming up at the end of the month here, where we're going to cook some pork loins. We're going to do it in all the stores, and we're going to cook up some pork loins. Have people come in. We're just going to do the real basic salt and pepper seasoning, but then we're going to have some of the rubs, so a person can actually sprinkle some of the barbecue rubs and on there to kind of enhance the flavors.
Sure.
And it'll give a person an opportunity to try out which ones they like on a kind of more of a neutral piece of meat. It's got to have some salt or it's going to be blah.
Right, right.
But that's kind of the plan there. So we're going to do the different brands. It's not going to be just a lot of the stuff we're doing is doing just Traeger. This one we're going to expand because our sauces and rubs, and you're in the store, and we've got a whole run of 28 feet of sauces and rubs, and it's really a great business for us. But a lot of different brands, and that's what people want. I mean, they want to come in and try something new. They get tired of the old one and do it. So we have the Meat Church, which is number one, the Sickle Buster. Of course, we're doing the pork and poultry, and we're going to have the Jack's sauce, which is a steakhouse in Bemidji, and they package their own little sauce, which is pretty good on some things. So.
Now, you're going to let people vote on their favorite? Is that right?
Yeah, just like we like to do that. We've done that with the pellets. We have the pellet shootout, and then now we're going to try this for the first time, just to let people see what their favorite rub is. It's always kind of interesting. So.
Right. And are you going to do this at all stores?
Yep, we're going to do it at all.
Okay. And now, if I get this right, each store, are you going to draw a winner? And then I believe maybe a grand prize winner, something like that too?
Yeah. What's the story on that, Lila?
So each store is going to have a thing where they can vote for their favorite sauce and seasoning.
Okay.
And then we're going to collect all of the votes, and we're going to have one grand prize winner.
Oh, okay. And
so when they vote, then they can put their name on and register for the drawing.
Yep.
Okay. Now that grand prize is pretty nice. In fact, actually, I think you get to choose. Is that correct?
Yep. We're going to have 4 gift baskets that they can choose from, either a DeWalt one, a Milwaukee one, or a houseware basket.
Oh,
and
wow.
we also have an ice fishing basket as well.
Oh, man. And I tell you what, you look at these are $500 values, these grand prizes. So like the DeWalt kit, it's the 20-volt max 4-tool combo kit. The Milwaukee's the M18 Fuel 3-tool combo kit. The Housewares basket, you get a 3-piece fry pan set, a 3-piece mixing bowl set, roaster oven, multi-cooker, 10-speed blender, crock pots. Wow. I mean, this is crazy. Griddles, waffle makers, pressure cooker, roaster pan, that's all in there. And that ice fishing basket, ice rod case, roughneck jacket and bibs. You choose the size, ice fishing 24-inch and 28-inch combo, $20 in tackle. Those are some pretty darn good prizes, I think.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I looked at that thing. And it's also kind of funny how some people are DeWalt users, some people are Milwaukee users, and they can't mix.
Right.
And the whole battery thing is we're selling real equal to about the same
Sure.
for both, but DeWalt guys aren't going to buy Milwaukee, and Milwaukee guys aren't going to.
Right.
So you got to kind of give them a choice,
You'll be like me. I'm a DeWalt guy with a bunch of 18-volt stuff with 20-volt adapters, because everything keeps getting bigger and bigger and better and better.
Yeah, boy, that I started on the DeWalt, my old Makita set, which was real good, but it kind of went out on me back right when DeWalt 20-volt was coming, and I could see that was going to be the way to go. So I started way back then. So I've got DeWalt tools just all over.
You're like my neighbor. He's got a whole wall of DeWalt tools, but I bet she's got 25 batteries. and I don't know how many chargers, but everything he's got now is cordless, including his chainsaws, his weed whackers, his leaf blowers, everything. You pop a battery on these things, and the way they're making these cordless tools now, the battery life is better. The batteries are smaller, they're lighter, but now, I mean, they've got battery-operated snow blowers, battery-operated lawnmowers, and all of this stuff, and I'm thinking, well, the yard my size, it's not going to work, but my neighbor can run that weed whacker for probably an hour and a half straight.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed at how long they go.
Yeah, that DeWalt weed whacker, and I've got two of them, one for the lake and one for at home. But yeah, that's all I'd ever need. Now, if I was going to do chainsawing, and I do a lot because I got big woods and whatever. But my understanding is if you got the steel battery, steel chainsaw, if you got their battery, which is that's really is a gas replacement.
Yeah.
I mean, you can swap in and out and fast. They'll charge faster than you'll take it down. So it really is pretty much a direct replacement for the gasoline stuff.
Now, if I recall, I'm a Husqvarna guy.
Yep.
Home of Economy. I bought how many bars there? How many chains I have bought there? I can't imagine, because I'm one of those guys, instead of trying to find someone to sharpen my chains, I just go buy a new one. And now I've got chains laying all over the place. My garage, my basement, everywhere. But the brand, Steel, Husqvarna, in my opinion, the two top chainsaws that you can buy.
I'm a Husqvarna chainsaw guy, and that's what I do. I've got, I started with 10 acres of brush, and I probably, 20 years ago, and I probably got 5 acres now, but.
Well, I started with Craftsman because I was cheap at the time. I blew up 2 Craftsman chainsaws in 3 years. So what I paid for my nice Husqvarna saw that I have never had a problem with, I could have bought the Husqvarna right off the bat, and I'd still be using it. But you get what you pay for.
Yep, and also on the chainsaws, I started with the Home Light, which we sold, but that was so much more work than getting the quality. It's not quite the real lumberjack quality, that we're selling. They make it, but it's close to that. So the saw does so much more of the work than on a quality saw.
Oh yeah.
Than doing it with a cheap consumer grade saw.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I wouldn't do that. When I was doing that, you're having to push so much, and your arms are aching, and
cutting wood, I used to love it. But I'm not a fan of it anymore. I still do it. But, every time you cut wood, for me, like my fireplaces and stuff, you got to handle it like 5 times. Every single time you're cutting trees, because then you got to split it. Then you got to stack it. And every time you got to pick it off the ground. And it's not easy job for an old guy.
My new house, we have a gas fireplace and don't have the wood fireplace. And I miss the smell, though.
Yeah.
I really do.
I've got the double-sided wood fireplace on my main floor and a gas fireplace in the basement. When I came time to put my fireplace in the basement, I thought, there's no way I'm going to haul wood up and down these steps. If I could have put a window in with a chute and maybe had somewhere to put the wood, I would. But no.
But they're a great compliment.
Oh, sure they are.
If I could I wouldn't take the gas fireplace out, but I'd love to add a wood fireplace into the house, and I'll probably figure that out someday, because I love a wood fire.
Oh, I do too.
But it's nothing like in the morning you get up and you're having your coffee and flip the switch, and you got a fire for the half hour before you get ready for work. So.
Heats up my basement really quickly. We've been talking about Carhartt earlier, things going on, and I know every year it's a big tradition at Home of Economy. Carhartt Days, is that back again this year?
Yep, we're doing it, and we're short on supply or whatever, but we're going through with it. So trying to do the kind of stuff and any of the details. Lyola's here to kind of explain the details.
All right, Carhartt Days.
Yeah, so that's going on right now until the 26th.
Okay.
And we have 25%, 40% off men's lined pants and women's Sherpa lined hoodies and women's.
Excuse me, those lined Carhartt pants, jeans. Those
I
are
have
wonderful.
a pair. Yeah.
Well, I got many. I mean, that's all I wear in the winter.
Yep.
And another thing, it's like I talked about the muck, and the guy's talking about it's like wearing your tennis shoes. Another guy out there told me wearing your flannel lined jeans It's like wearing your jammies all day.
Oh, it is. And now that's one thing we were talking about. The Carhartt's finally starting to fit me again. I'll have to try to see if my Carhartt line jeans do, because they were getting a little tight last time I tried them on
Just
last
sitting
year.
in the closet, they got tight, huh?
Yeah. I don't know what that is with my
Yeah.
closet. Maybe it's too
Mine
humid
too.
in there or something.
If you figure it out, let me know.
Okay, getting back to Carhartt days now. We didn't mean to cut you off there, but some big sales going on.
Yeah. Then we also have boys pullover long logo sweatshirt running from $29.99 through $32.99. Then we also have graphic long sleeve shirt running for $24.99 through $39.99. Then we have men's long sleeve quarter zip pocket shirt $39.99 through $44.99. And then waterproof insulated work gloves $26.99.
The work gloves caught my eye. I have a new
Yeah.
puppy. You know what new puppies do to work gloves? They think it's part of their everyday diet.
Yeah.
So then you end up with a pair of like my outdoor insulated gloves for working around the house, moving snow and all that. So one glove is missing one finger, and I Gorilla Tape that. And the other one's missing the thumb because he ate that, so I Gorilla Tape that. You know how cold those fingers get with Gorilla Tape on? It's not like gloves. So again, now there's, every time you guys come in here, I figure out something more I
Yeah.
need to buy when I go to Home Economy, so I
sorry
can add
about
this to
that.
the list. But
I mean, it's good. The one thing is, most of the stuff that we sell, it's solving a problem.
oh,
And,
sure.
You're talking those Carhartt gloves, which are really high quality. They're not just a cheap. We do sell the cheaper ones. We
Sure.
my brother was visiting, and he had a friend. He's going, God, I got these for $7. These winter gloves, because he didn't have them from out where he was. So
Those $7 gloves will do fine from going to your house to your car, but
Yeah.
go operate a snowblower or a four-wheeler or a tractor without a cab on it and see how cold your hands get. Again, you pay for what you get.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer of that. I've been such a tightwad my whole life. I'm finally to the point now, it's like, screw it. I'm going to pay a couple extra dollars, but I'm going to get the quality that I need and that I really want.
yeah, well, and there's a place when you're starting out. I bought the cheap barbecue grill. $100 grill. We used to sell those and sold a lot of them. And but after two of them going out like in 3 years apiece, 2 years
Yeah.
apiece, then I bought the quality one, and that lasted for years and years and years.
Yep.
So over the long run, I saved a lot of money, but I didn't have the money to start out with. So
Right.
But once you get established, it's nice to have a place to buy the quality stuff.
Yeah, and then you just make sure you put them up high in the closet so the dog can't find them.
Yeah, that's. Do you do that all the time now?
Pretty much, yeah. Well,
So
between
you're trainable. The dog isn't, but you are.
kind of, yeah. Well, it's hard with this puppy because he can't be a puppy yet because he had a busted leg.
Oh.
So I have to keep him contained, is what they say. So
Yeah.
it'll be 12 weeks next week since he had his surgery. And even to bring him outside, I have to keep him on a leash, even to go to the bathroom. So it's been
yeah.
really hard to work with this dog. But after eating a pair of my wife's gloves and mine, he's starting to finally learn. This is,
You're a good dog parent though for
We
taking
are.
care of them. So
yeah,
that's great.
it's hard to get mad at them,
Yeah.
but you have to, once in a while. One good thing about this weather, this cold weather, is it's making ice. And that
Yeah.
means there's ice fishing going on. I know they are just destroying them up in Lake of the Woods. I haven't really heard much about Devil's Lake yet, but now some of these smaller lakes, people are ice fishing everywhere. And Home of Economy is a great place to get into ice fishing. And one nice thing about ice fishing is you look at people with all this gear and stuff. It's not that expensive to really get into if you want to start.
Yeah, it's not too bad, and we've got the whole thing from the the portable ice houses, which that's a great way to get going on it. Mm-hmm. And the ice augers, which we've got from the electrics, which really have taken over the market.
Oh,
They're a
yeah.
great way to do it too. It's same as the power equipment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to go. But we do have some gas powered models too, and we got the ones where you use your drill.
Yep.
If you got a 1/2-inch DeWalt or Milwaukee or whatever quality, or any brand, but a quality.
Nice, because you don't have the fumes.
Yeah.
That's one nice thing. Now, can you buy a fishing license at Home of Economy?
Yep, we can. And Grand Forks and Devil's Lake are the only stores that we
Okay.
have the volume on that, but
Okay.
to keep it.
More and more people, electronics are getting crazy now for fishing. It's funny because I was talking to a guy about this the other day. When I first started really getting into catfishing, I didn't have much. Barely had any electronics to speak of. And then you upgrade and you buy all this fancy stuff. And pretty soon I find out I'm not catching as many fish because I'm so worried about looking at those electronics instead of just using my gut and my feeling that sometimes they hurt me. But when you're ice fishing, electronics are a must, and you will find those at Home of Economy.
Well, that's actually one that we've got a little bit of it, so we got enough to get somebody started on it, but a lot of that didn't come in this year, so we're not as complete as we'd like. But we've got what we got, and it's kind of covering the market. But
with this cold weather, and that's the thing, when it snows like this and you have this cold weather, all you got to do is drive over it a couple of times if you don't get a chance to clean your driveway off, and it turns into ice. Your sidewalks are going to do the same thing. Now, I can't remember if it was you or your brother last year. I had actually asked you about pet-free salt. For because I've got 3 dogs and all my cats, and 1 dog now and 3 cats. But ice salt is got to be a big seller at this time of the year.
Yeah, it's a huge market for us, and so we selling it by the pallet, and we keep ours comes in jugs. If you buy it in the bag. And that's when it gets kind of all hard and clumpy or whatever. Yeah. So we have it in the plastic 50-pound bale, and we also have the plastic shakers. So salt is salt, although there's different formulations of it. Not all. Nobody's using sodium chloride, which is table salt anymore.
Right.
But anyway. That's really why you should buy it from us is the packaging. But we also have it if you need carry out. If somebody needs carry out, we'll help them. Those 50-pound pails are pretty.
Oh yeah.
Pretty tough. So
it's like when you go buy a pail of cat litter. Yeah. Same thing, man. It seems like everything's got to be so dang heavy.
Yeah. It's getting heavy. That's another thing. That's getting heavier now every year.
Oh yeah, it is. Another good winter thing that a lot of people don't think about are things like hand warmers, thermoses is another big one, especially if you're going to go ice fishing or if you're going to go snowmobiling. It's nice to pack away a thermos full of hot drinks, whatever, and hot drink might as well be coffee. So coffee is another huge thing that gets drank during the winter.
Yeah, well, we sell a lot of Folgers, so
yeah,
we pick it up on a special and buy big quantities so we can offer a real competitive price. So
that's the only thing I don't think I've ever looked for at Home of Economy was coffee.
Really?
I'm not a coffee drinker.
Oh.
Occasionally on the weekends I'll have a cup of Irish coffee, but I'm just not a coffee guy. But now I know.
Yeah.
So basically, and this is the same thing that we talk about every time you guys are in here, is Home of Economy. I keep telling you it's my favorite store, but you guys have basically got everything for everybody, and especially during winter. I think anybody, whatever they're looking for, I think you got them covered.
Well, we try. This year is more challenges than ever, and but we're still in business for most of the winter stuff. So that's about all you can do. The people are out all over town, and don't blame them for being out. It's just the way it is.
You got to get out.
Yeah.
So I want to know, Wade Pearson, how do you spend your winters? Are you going on vacation, or would you rather stay here?
I'd rather stay here. My wife doesn't agree with that, so and so maybe at some point we'll have to spend some time down south. But I like going to the lake. I was up at the lake over New Year's. My furnace went out.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, fortunately I have enough space heaters to keep it comfortable, and it was fine and until I could get something in the propane system froze up. So.
Oh boy. And another thing I've noticed, Wade and Scott and everybody I've talked to that you've brought in with these Home of Economy podcasts, people like going to work there.
Yeah. Well, we try to be, you try not to make it bad. A lot of things is you just, don't go out of your way to make it bad, and just try to be friendly and kind of family. Treat everybody like friends. It's just why wouldn't you? But it doesn't. A lot of places don't get it.
I got one last question for you, Wade. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Well, obviously, a year from now, I'm going to be like 50 pounds lighter.
Okay.
I can dream.
Well, that's one resolution I'll never try to make.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Are you working on it?
Well, not as hard as I should. I got to get, but it's still early.
Well, yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. You'll be, that bikini body will be here before you know it, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in today again. There you go, our Home of Economy podcast with Wade Pearson. I even had trouble saying Home of Economy. And again, I'm going to say it, my favorite store to shop. They're located all over the place. Check them out. Carhartt Days is going on right now, not to mention all kinds of fun stuff. There's always something fun happening at Home of Economy. Till next time, there you go for Wade and Lyola Pearson. That's your Home of Economy podcast.